Okay. Hey guys, I'm Braylon. As Michael said, I'm going to cover the astrology and the tarot. So, how we usually do things, we're just going to talk about the full moon and what sign it's happening in. I took some notes last night, just kind of sitting with the Virgo energy. So, this is a Virgo full moon. We have a full moon every month when the sun and the moon are opposite. So right now we have Pisces season. Virgo and Pisces are opposite signs. So the sun is in Pisces and the moon is directly opposing Pisces in Virgo. So next month we'll have a Libra full moon. After that we'll have a Scorpio full moon. So I took some notes about Virgo just so we can kind of honor the energy. But I did want to say that a huge thing happening on the same day as this full moon, March 7th, which was yesterday, right? March 7th and 8th. Is Saturn entering Pisces. So in astrology, Saturn is the planet of responsibility, time management, responsibility, boundaries, limitations, and it's an outer planet, so it shifts every 3 years. So the past 3 years, we were dealing with Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn entering Pisces on the same day of a full moon is really kind of why we're feeling all these intense energies. Some of it's the full moon in Virgo, some of it's Saturn shifting into Pisces, but either way, we have this critical, demanding. We might be thinking about the future a little bit. At the same time, we have all these completions and cycles. So full moons every month. Sometimes we have two, and that's called a super moon. But it brings things to climactic endings and energies. So we're going to be thinking about the next 6 months, which is basically around September 14th. We're going to set some intentions because these are 6-month cycles. And then also, Virgo is the 6th house. So this is where we get into the astrology. So we have these 12 houses in astrology. I don't know if everyone has seen the wheel. So Virgo is the 6th house, the 6th sign. And it's all about health. So we do want to think about our health tonight, specifically the digestive system. Virgo rules the digestive, the stomach. And with the moon, that's all about our emotion and our subconscious. So gut feelings. With Pisces and Virgo, there's this intuitive energy. So listen to your gut feelings right now. Virgo is also our services, our jobs, what we do for work. It's a very meticulous, irritating. So if anyone's feeling kind of irritated or like overstimulated, it's because Virgo is the sign of like meticulous detail. So they're very critical, very analytical sign. They're ruled by Mercury. So our rituals, what we do every day, our habits, our schedule, but this is a full moon. So there could have been things 6 months ago that we started doing every day. And then I want to remind everybody that habits can come in the form of people, places, and things. So with a full moon, we're kind of completing habits that no longer serve us. So this is a really good time. It's a really good energy to harness what we don't want to do. So like habits, Virgo rules addiction. Because it's our schedule. So if we're smoking or drinking too much, those things are going to be kind of illuminated tonight. And then over the next 2 weeks, and then even all the way up until September 14th, by then we may not be engaging in the same schedule. This can be a completely new lifestyle for some of us. This can hit us at work. So we could be completing things at work. We can be starting new things at work. Virgo is also mutable earth. So we have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo that are all earth. And that's the grounded energy. Virgo being mutable like Pisces and Sagittarius. And so the mutable signs are Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, and Gemini. And that's energy that changes. So instead of like being grounded in Capricorn and Taurus, where things are a little more stable, Virgo is all about adapting to your physical environment. So we may notice things physically. So that's our money, anything that we value, anything that can be touched or felt tangibly. So these changes, they're happening subconsciously with Pisces, but Virgo is actually changing our actual lifestyle, like the way we live. And we might not have noticed before, but the way we live, it's very intimate to us. It's like our routine. So if you think about it, something that you do every day that you all of a sudden stop doing is going to affect you very intimately. So adapting to our physical environment, but when it comes to emotion, because the moon is associated with our emotion and what's happening under the subconscious, when it's full like this, it's like, you know, they say our bodies are whatever percent of water and the moon controls the tide. So it brings things to a climactic like intensity. But with Virgo, it offers a little bit of a grounded sensation like Taurus and Capricorn would. So, but things are changing though. So I wrote, we're adapting to our physical environment. We're grounded emotionally, yet sensitive. A lot of people, I don't know if there's anyone here that knows Virgo or is a Virgo. But they're emotional, they're very sensitive, but they're grounded at the same time because they're logical. They're paying attention to the details Unlike their opposite sign, Pisces, that can be a bit more sensitive, like Cancer and Scorpio. That's the water. So we're dealing with water and earth. So it's best to kind of logically assess our emotions tonight as we leave tonight, as the weeks pass on and we go through other changes like the spring equinox on March 20th or 21st, around that time. So Virgo illumination, when we talk about full moons, it's filled with light. We go through these phases and things are illuminated. So with Virgo, we've got some details that are going to be illuminated. We might not like all the details that we come into knowledge of, but that's what Virgo rules, is like blemishes, things that are like supposed to be perfect. Virgos are all about precision. They want things a certain way. They're very meticulous. Like this goes right here. Everything's neat. But it's kind of like somebody came in and like cleaned a room and came in with muddy shoes. Like that's the metaphor right now. Pay attention to the details that irritate you or the imperfections about yourself or other people, because those are going to be a huge part of this transit. Also, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So communication is going to come in and deliver information that absolutely needs to be analyzed. Habit breaking energy, like I was talking about earlier, because it's a full moon. So habits that no longer serve us, no longer living a certain way. We're not going to figure this out all at once, you guys, but these are the small changes that are going to take place. How you were living 6 months ago is extremely important. The habits you had then. So we're going back to August 27th, 2022. So over the past 6 months, and just that critical perfection, precision, energy. So I wanted to mention like mistakes and errors too, like kind of just be a little easy on yourself if things aren't going exactly according to plan. Sometimes the universe has a higher plan. Sometimes it's actually a part of the plan for a plan not to work out. So just kind of go with the flow. I know it's a Virgo full moon, but Pisces is the opposite of Virgo for a reason. So go with the flow, trust your intuition. There's spirituality to consider here. There's subconscious elements that don't make sense. Everybody's confused, yet there's this detail and truth coming forward. And then I just wanted to kind of end with what Virgo actually represents, which is the Virgin. So around this time of year when we have a full moon, it's like we're pure. There's this purification that's taking place. Virgo's the wheat bearer too. A lot of people don't know that. So we're also really focusing on our harvesting energy, like reaping what we sow, which made so much sense when I was writing this last night, because in about 6 months, we'll be in about August, October's energy, and that'll be the actual harvest, like around the fall equinox. So we are harvesting energies. We're kind of just being purified right now, and that's why we all feel exhausted and like tired. And I just kind of want to end with the notes anyway of just saying, kind of just reiterating, I know things aren't going the way that we all have Virgo energy somewhere in our chart. So just try to silence in any way your inner critic and just go with the natural flow. Because if you try to knock on like a metaphorically closed door, it's kind of like divine timing comes into play. Like if you want a certain person, place, or thing, I don't care if it's job, work, we're all going through different stuff. But if you're met with resistance with this Saturn and Pisces energy too, that's opposing the full moon in Virgo. So even though we want things to be clean, or we want a routine, or we want this, or we want that, karmically it might not be aligned. Like we might not have time either. So this is like work and time management, and then all this other stuff going on too. So just go with the plan as much as you can and try to silence the inner critic, because even before everyone showed up with Michael and I, and just like in my own personal life, like things are just unraveling their own way right now. And it's like the inner critic, you just can't. I know mistakes and errors bother people all the time, but you might notice a little extra irritation with things, or the mistakes and errors may be taking place in really intimate places in life. It's not something you can just shove under the mat and like, okay, let's out of sight, out of mind. In your head, you just keep thinking about how you relate to that one thing, or how this person's irritating you, or how this one, it's like almost perfect. That's what this Virgo full moon tone is. It's almost perfect. So the things that are less than perfect are extreme elements moving forward that are going to kind of hover and continue to be important. Everything else is in order. Let that be right. But when it comes to the things that are just really bugging you, that you can't stop thinking about because they were wrong in some way, or maybe they're critical errors about yourself or mistakes, they're important, but just try to be careful not to let it overrule your life, because those things are just kind of extra irritating right now, is the way I'll say that. It's all a part of breaking the habits that we're going to be breaking. Really, things are shaking right now because there are people, places, and things that are, I don't want to say not perfect enough. They're just not in alignment with your life in 6 months. So the things, the people, the places that are kind of shifting up right now, it's so that we arrive at a more pure, I guess, precise, what's meant for us come September 14th, which is just 6 months away. So that's a little bit about the full moon and the notes that I took. And then after that, I have this Moonology deck at home. It comes with all the cards, all the zodiac signs. So just to kind of wrap everything up and some things that I might have missed, I have the Virgo full moon card here. And it says, you are good enough. You are good enough. It says that right on the card. So that's something everyone needs to hear. And then I just want to read from the book. So you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what's led you to ask your question. Have you been humbled to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests that you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be a flash, just quite certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you need to be honest. You need to honestly answer this question. Have you been too picky? Virgos are very picky energy. The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Your next step should be more obvious to you. Pay attention to the details. Hard work brings results. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane energies in your life, your daily life. You could be worrying too much and it will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. So we may have to do some apologizing, which is interesting because Pisces, the opposite of Virgo, is forgiveness, apology energy. So stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma, which is so weird because Saturn's all about karma. And that's a huge part of this full moon too. It literally says raise your karma by doing something good for someone else. The full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home, your office. I don't know if anyone's been like cleaning. Like I bleached my whole room and I'm clean, but I'm not that clean. But this Virgo full moon, it made me change my whole room for the first time in a year. And I moved back to where I lived 6 months ago. So it's so weird that I was cleaning. My roommate was going nuts and crazy too. So it's time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also the time to clear out your energies via salt bath, meditation, perfect night for this. Practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it is a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. And that's why I love reading from these books, because it just really harnesses kind of what I was saying, what I was able to channel on my own, but then there's this more traditional, some of the things that I forgot. So that kind of like wrapped it up for the Moonology there. So yeah, the first part, when I was talking about the Virgo, that's all the details and everything, and I had to be like kind of an earth sign about that. But now I get to be a Pisces and start the spiritual, like it's not even me, it's just really what the cards have to say. So we'll start the tarot portion. So I've been reading since about 2017, like the past 5 or 6 years, and something that I've kind of created to connect with energies in the zodiac. So we got the tarot deck here. There's 78 cards in a tarot deck. This is just traditional Rider-Waite. There's all these different decks out, but I like the traditional. And in this deck, we have different planets, different elements, different images. There's no right or wrong with this either. It's intuitive. Some people get... But for me, I like to connect to the zodiac sign. So we do all have a card. Each of us here, our zodiac sign, we are in the tarot deck along with the planets. But since this is a Virgo full moon, I've connected to the Hermit, which is the card that represents Virgo. So last night when I was sitting with the notes and I channeled some notes, I also took my deck. It took me maybe about 10 minutes. So I just literally shuffle and I just briefly look at the bottom and wait till a certain card comes up. So about 10 minutes and I just shuffled, and it's just something, it's a collective reading, so something we all need to hear tonight. Some of it's going to resonate, some of it will resonate after, and I am recording it if anyone would like me to send it to them in the audio form. Because tarot, I'm more of a present teller, but it also can talk about things that are going to come up after because we're doing things here tonight with Michael and the bulls and the vibrations, and then we walk away, and then it's like we're different people when we leave here tonight. And certain things happen. So the cards are aligned. This is the Virgo full moon. What I'd like to do before getting started is there's just some kind of a message already in the cards. As I was sitting last night, I didn't even know who would be here, but I'm just saying, like, whatever we need to hear, connect me to the Virgo full moon and what this actual moon has to say. And then I'm going to get a card for each bowl, talk about a little bit about the chakras, and then what it can mean kind of mixed with tarot. So the Hermit, this is the wisest card in the tarot. It talks a lot about reflection, but what I keep trying to avoid saying is loneliness. Even during the meditation with Michael, I was thinking about the Hermit card and how some of us could be feeling lonely, or more specifically just isolated. Another word that comes up with this card is solitude. So when this comes up in personal readings for me, I always mention to people that loneliness and being alone are not exactly the same, because we can be alone and not feel lonely. We could feel like we're in the best company in the world. I love alone time personally. And then in crowds like this, or even larger, we can feel alone sometimes when we're not physically alone. So it's deciphering between loneliness and feeling alone, but I do feel that intuitively that some of us are feeling a version of loneliness that maybe we're not used to. It's maybe we're not actually alone, but we just feel kind of misunderstood, and like a word that can't come to me right now, just kind of not differentiated, but like kind of like there aren't other people around us that think the same, so we're feeling kind of like we're the only, like the sore thumb out, or whatever that sticks out like a sore thumb. So loneliness for sure, isolation, but I do think alone time would benefit us all tonight, because the mental right now, I don't know if that's the crown chakra or if it's just our mentality with the Virgo energy. It's super overcritical and there's a lot of thoughts. Some of us are that way all the time, but these kind of energies, they kind of resonate with that full speed energy. Like even your thoughts have thoughts. There's details behind the details you're getting, so it's just kind of amped up. There's a lot to analyze and go through and sort and everything. Everything feels really messy and metaphorically dirty, so there's some cleaning up that needs to take place. So with all that being said, don't be afraid to spend, at the very minimum, 4 minutes alone in silence. Like if you can't do that, that's an issue. If you can't set aside 4 minutes, tell your phone, hey Siri, tell me when 4 minutes have passed by. If you can't do that without your phone ringing, without somebody busting in on you or interrupting you, that's an issue. That's an issue. It means that there's too many demanding energies, and that even includes ourselves. Like if we keep getting in our own way, like Michael says during the meditation, if there's like these thoughts, these annoying thoughts that pop up, some of us may be wanting to, even though it's about to be spring and there's all these things, some of us may want to just escape into our solitude. And I feel like because Virgos, they're very irritated people, and they're like, a lot of them, like Pisces too, or a lot of them are serial killers. And it's like they're irritated. Yeah, there's a lot of Virgo, Gemini, Pisces killers. I can't think of any Virgo ones. I've seen a list. And I'm just saying that because they're so damn irritated and they're problem solvers for everybody that it's like Virgos are inches away from murdering. Like, I don't mean to say it like that. Basically, just take your time. If you don't honor yourself, and if you keep being of service, because that's the thing about Virgo too, is they're extreme givers. So is Pisces, like giver, giver, giver. We got to make sure we're giving to ourselves. We got to make sure we're equal give and take with the receive and everything like that. So if that means just being alone, don't be afraid to do that. But that's the Hermit. Solitude, reflection, healing. This person's all alone at the top of a mountain with a lantern, so he's extremely wise. But let's get to the good part, which is how the cards have aligned underneath. Okay, so the first card underneath that Hermit was the Ace of Wands. So this is basically just the energy right behind the full moon. It's actually a new start. So with everything else going on, all the details, and yeah, we're irritated, and some of us need to clean our rooms and our bathrooms, there's these new sparks, and there's also sexual energy too. I don't necessarily know it personally, but all the Virgos that I've encountered say that they're, and even astrology, like jokes and humor, say that Virgos are like really sensual. So with the cards, it is saying that there's some new sparks. Some of us with this stress, it might be channeled. I think that would be the sacral chakra, so we'll see what comes up for that creative sexual energy. But Ace of Wands is a good energy, and I'm actually surprised as the tarot reader. I thought it would be like, oh, you need to work harder, and I thought there would be this this energy. So actually, as your tarot reader, this is something unexpected, because I'm being overcome with unexpected energy. So new sparks in the form of people, places, and things. This is excitement. I think we're going to be feeling this on after March 20th, when we shift, is it polarities, when we shift to the equinox, the spring equinox. Those are extremely pivotal times when we shift into cardinal signs. It'll be Aries season. So the rest of Pisces season is what it is. It might be a little confusing, but just know after this full moon promises a new spark of excitement. I know you're stressed. Our higher selves know we're stressed. The universe knows we're stressed, but this is almost like a little bit of a gift. So there's something to be excited about. And then the next card, I'm just going to pull the first few or so to get like the major themes, and then I'll start shuffling and let cards fall out. But this is just how they've aligned, and we move into the Nine of Swords. So this is more of a, it looks exactly how it feels. This is like nightmares, anxiety. So Virgo's energy, even though we're all different signs, the full moon is in Virgo. So good luck sleeping. I've talked to several people. A lot of people haven't been sleeping over the past, and Pisces rules sleep. So this could be the past month. Some of us might deal with this all the time. But specifically, you'll notice around the time of this full moon, the next couple of weeks, having a hard time sleeping. That's all full moons, because it's like a light. I always say with full moons, it's like you're in a dark room for several weeks, and then someone turns a bright light on. It's like good luck sleeping. And even your subconscious mind is it's illuminated. So things that were behind the surface before, it's like you can't hide from them. So we have all these swords, which represents each thought. So it's like there's these 9 thoughts. And with Virgo, it's repetitive. So the things you think every day, your sleep schedule, and for me, lack thereof, because I'm an insomniac. So like, just know your sleep schedule may change with this Virgo full moon, your eating habits. But in a nutshell, this is anxiety. And what I would say as a reader is like, there's a difference between excitement and anxiety, but they're so similar though. They have different effect on us. Anxiety and excitement literally feel the same way. In science, they call it the same thing, but they like bring different parts out of us. So I see this new spark. I don't know if it's sexual for some of us or just something exciting. I say it's a potential flame. We're gonna have to reach out and grab it. But when we leave tonight, over the next couple of weeks, there is gonna be this like potential for a new thing to start in all different areas of life. But we're a little worried about it. That's the key element, is that it's causing us a little anxiety. We're a little afraid for this new flame. Some of us are thinking about turning our back and doing this on our own. A lot of us feel lonely, especially at sleep, right before sleep. Or maybe some of us are wishing we were alone because there's someone around us causing this anxiety. So I don't know if we're getting woke up. Pay attention to any nightmares or like stressful dreams that we have, because dreams, I believe, have a deep meaning and they're metaphorical. We're going to be moving fast, okay? I already feel this energy. This is one of the fastest cards. We have the 8 of Wands. So there's a lot of fire. This Virgo full moon is going to have people expressing things that they weren't expressing a couple weeks ago. They might not have had the balls or the confidence for that. I see somebody who's going to be texting somebody new as well, and they're excited about that, or travel. I'm getting that as well. Like what Angel said with the airways, this is someone who's on a plane. And they're really excited, but this is going to be like an equally exciting and nervous trip. Like energies are just moving really fast. Whatever, like I think some of us, we don't know what it is, but after this full moon, maybe a couple of days go by, check back in on March 20th, and there's something new that we're all dealing with. People, places, things, jobs. I don't know what it's going to be for all of us. What I do see though is that we are going to be anxious about it, and it's literally going to require us to move on fast. And that's how Virgo is. As soon as Virgo deems a person, place, or thing a mistake or an error or something that's holding them back, something they can't clean up and wash perfectly, you gotta go. You have to go. Person, place, or thing, because it's unsettling to my life. Like you being in my life, you doing this certain thing, you being around me, working at this place, whatever these things are. Virgo, like tonight when we're asleep, Virgo energy is gonna kind of sweep the universe, and it's not like we have to attack ourselves if we're less than perfect. Really, it's just our lives are going through like a purity, and we have to move on fast. It is a little sad, especially with it being Pisces season. This card talks about how sad it is to move on from one person, place, or thing, and that's what we're doing. We're like transitioning. But if we focus on the calmer waters, like don't we want to get to a place that's calmer? Don't we want to be with a person that makes us feel calmer? Don't we want to work at that calmer environment? Don't we want to move out of this home environment and potentially live somewhere that's calmer and better? Because there's been recent chaos. I didn't have the words, but something just said the very recent chaos. Like it's like the current of the water, metaphorically, our emotions have really been wavy. And the thing is we've been holding on. Here's the earth energy I've been waiting on. This is earth energy with the Virgo. So we're trying to save money. We're trying to be stable. We're trying to be secure. We're holding on, but we also need to let go. So this is not necessarily a let go or a hold on energy. It's a release. Someone's holding on to a home environment. Some of us see value. That's the thing about Virgos, is there are all these things I've mentioned. But if they see value in something, even if it's toxic, even if it's harmful, if it causes them stability, that's worth the deal for them. Like, you're toxic as hell, but I'm not going to break up with you because I need a place to live. Like, that kind of energy. Or this job sucks, but it pays me $400. So, because there is $400 here that might be important. Some of us, we have a huge decision to make about home environments, emotional fulfillment, relationship stuff, family stuff. But those are also the things we're letting go of and moving on from. So, I see a lot of communication. I see a lot moving forward. It's like these arrows getting shot, and each one makes you nervous and anxious in a different way. But what I really want to reiterate is just the card that was right underneath this Virgo full moon. There's a lot of criticizing, over-logical, and I don't like it, honestly, as a Pisces. I would just like to feel and create and dream and have these energies, but the opposite of that is like harsh reality. But I love that the universe, in tarot anyways, and I'm even surprised about it, is giving us this new start. So that's something good. I do feel it's going to happen between now and March 20th. And it's going to happen fast, too. Maybe too fast. And then I was just going to continue on. But then the other side of the deck wanted to show me this, which is, yeah, this is something I was feeling during the meditation. I thought it was just me, but I will mention it since it's resurfacing. A lot of us are, like, extremely sad right now. Extremely sad. And we're going through our daily, it sucks because we have to work, right? We have to do these, we have our daily rituals and tasks and routines. They're like requiring, right? It doesn't matter if you're sad, you still have to go to work. It doesn't matter where the mistakes are, the errors. So like, I do want to hit on that, and I don't want to be too much of a Pisces about it because this isn't what I'm familiar with. And I can feel there's like a lot of deceit about it. A lot of us are lying to ourselves about how sad we are. This is depression, emotional conflict, and even more so, water under the bridge. So not only is this something that's conflicting us emotionally, it's something that has come to pass that we kind of have to move on from. And that might be where the solitude comes into play. But I was going to ignore that. Maybe a lot of us here tonight are just ignoring our feelings because we think we deserve that. But no, like the collective energy is extremely somber, is extremely sad. Yet we're showing up to these things and we have these things to fix. And that's Virgo energy for you. Virgos are extremely... They can't afford to slow down and be sad, or to slow down because they're anxious, because without Virgo, it's like that. I always say Virgo is the backbone. A lot of my bosses have been Virgos. A lot of my households have been ran by Virgos. They're like that center thing, like no one else wants to pay that much attention to detail. Virgo doesn't mind it. So the Virgo energy in our lives and within ourselves, we all have Virgo somewhere in our natal charts. And those are the areas that are going to get extremely like detailed. But I don't want to rush over that sadness. Like, I guess I'll just say, because it's extremely hidden. I can feel it in myself. We're not, no one knows this. No one knows that we're conflicted in this way. So it's kind of like just in secret. Just honor that. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be overwhelmed. You don't have to, like, be perfect. And kind of like what Angel was saying, I feel like it's our own inner critic. Like, this might not necessarily be what other people are requiring of us. That's one thing. That's one message right now. But I also want to highlight what we're requiring of ourselves. Like sometimes we may think it's a person, place, or thing outside of us that are requiring all these things. But then there's been times in my life where I've realized absolutely no one around me is requiring this. It's my own inner critic. I don't feel good enough. So then that can kind of mirror, and you can have lessons show up in people, places, and things around you that kind of make it seem like they're the one. It's just like a weird thing. But I'll just say it in an umbrella statement. Like, just be careful of that, because basically the trade-off of that is your feelings. Like, every time you do something you don't want to do, or every time you're tired and you're still going, that's that Virgo energy. The Pisces part of you, which is just like what you feel, you know what I mean, with your emotions and stuff. Subconsciously, that's going to really kind of conflict our emotions. And I can literally feel it. It's kind of uncomfortable and gross feeling that there's all these like feelings and emotions that everyone is kind of not denying, but just not acknowledging. I guess maybe in denial a little bit. And that's contributing to the loneliness too. But yeah, I absolutely feel that. I felt it during the meditation. And I'm like, no, that's just me. No, like everybody in here tonight is sad about something different. And it's so buried deep, like, but maybe it's coming up because after we separate and we go on to our normal daily lives, like this is something you feel every day, but no one knows it. You kind of just feel it alone, and you continue to work and you continue to act like everything's okay. But subconsciously, under the surface, a lot of us are struggling right now. And I think we just need to get to March 20th, because whatever this new spark is, it's gonna, not like a distraction, although I am hearing that. It's almost like a trade-off with the universe. Like, I see your sadness. I see you've been conflicted emotionally. here's this very deserving, like, new spark thing. Something to get you excited and out of the, like, Virgos are boring. I'll say that about my opposite sign. They're so ritualistic, and I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love dinner every day at 6 o'clock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you just don't want to be the one that makes it,
right? Exactly. And it's also like kind of boring. Like, predictability can get a little boring too. So just kind of, I guess, honor that as well. Like, get out of your routine. This is a full moon in Virgo, not a new moon in Virgo. So if it was a new moon, we could start new schedules and bring in new habits, but this is about, like, ending that, completing that, and things being illuminated, letting go of your everyday routine and maybe adding something new to it. If smoking is a part of your everyday routine and it's messing you up, maybe not doing that anymore, drinking, whatever it might be. It's really going to be up to us as individuals, because I really don't feel this exterior energy judging us. I feel it's coming from within. Like, I don't feel like anyone here is judging me, but I'm judging me. So even if some of you out there listening are feeling judged, you know, even though it may look like someone exterior, it could just be you. And that's even worse. I feel like we're our own worst. You know, Pink is a Virgo, and she wrote that song, like, I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
That's literally her. Like, her own worst critic. That's Virgo energy. So there's that. That's the extra message. Now I'm just going to go to each bowl and just let the cards do their thing. Feel free to write or talk amongst yourself while I do that. It'll just take me a couple minutes here just to let the cards come out. Crown chakra.
Do we pull them up? Do we...
The message of the crown chakra. The message of the crown chakra.
I do get to take it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's yours. That's for you. You can keep it and look back at it if you want to, or you can burn it. I like to burn mine, like, as a release type
That's what she
thing.
said. Burn hers, yeah.
I know you don't.
Just do it outside.
Heart chakra.
Aww.
You can bury them too. Either way, bury it, burn it.
Okay. And then we got the solar plexus.
And today's the 8th.
Yes.
Sacral chakra. Sacral chakra messages. And the roots. Root chakra. God.
You only wrote one
I'm
thing.
excited. What?
There's only wrote one thing too.
Ooh, are they all covered?
Dang.
Damn, they're basically all hidden. I didn't notice that. So that's something. We had a few people who depart, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
Potty.
I'm gonna wait until they get back.
Yeah, I think Jay did too.
Record it. Okay, so we got all the cards. I seen some of them, and then others of them I'm gonna actually be seeing for the first time with you guys, because a lot of these, actually, we have the first chakra that I do see the cards. That's the crown chakra. We're gonna discuss that. Every single chakra after that is I'll explain more, but basically the cards are not facing me, so I don't know what they are. Some of them I kind of seen as they fell out, but that means something for me as a reader. But let's start right here with the crown, and I have my little cheat sheet. That's what I'm looking down at. And this is the higher consciousness crown chakra. It's the divine connection. And again, this is the only bowl that is letting me know right away. So in many ways, this energy we're about to discuss may be the only thing that we actually do have clarity about. Because that, for me as a reader, when cards are like this, I can see and I know what they are. But when cards are like this, when they fall on the table or when in any way, sometimes they fall out of the deck, off the table and face down, that lets me know as a reader, maybe not to everyone, but for me personally, that is an omen that something's hidden. So everything we talk about after this chakra can be somewhat hidden to us. We could be hiding it. It can be hidden from us, from others. Maybe it's unknown. There's just some kind of a dark, mysterious element. But not here. Crown chakra energy, we have right away the Queen of Pentacles that fell out with the Ten of Wands. So again, the crown chakra is our higher consciousness. It's our connection to the divine. So what I felt with this, when I did see this, is first of all, as a reader, when I get the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands, that's like a lot of heavy financial, tangible burden. And when I'm seeing this with the bowl, that is actually weighing us down too much in reality, to the point where we're not really connecting with, and for everybody here, that's going to be something different. For Michael, that might be Reiki. For Angel, that might be connecting and channeling messages. For me, it's tarot. But there's something in the tangible realm that is keeping us weighed down from the opposite of Virgo, that spiritual Pisces escapee reality of fantasizing and imagination. No, we've actually had way too many burdens financially and tangibly. We've been working really hard. Virgo is that energy. Saturn moving into Pisces is that energy. So I see somebody here that is like weighed down financially, like their burdens. And this isn't just money. This is doing the dishes, doing the laundry, making sure the house is okay. I'm also a girlfriend. I'm also a mom. I'm also this. I also have friends. I have these engagements and parties I have to go to. But they're all linked to something tangible. But I will say, as I like span that energy, the 10 of Wands is a release. So there's actually something that this Virgo full moon is going to release. Like, we no longer have to pay this. Some of us are going to receive a loan. Some of us are going to receive an olive branch or help or a donation of some kind to equal the scales. So I will say, even though this is absolutely heavy financial burden, this is also something becoming lighter. So when we feel those, it's going to be right around the time that we pay something off. And I mean, this is something where it's like right away, the metaphor I'm getting is, I know somebody who's paying a huge phone bill right now, and if they pay $300 on that phone bill, they're only going to have to pay $60 a month to change it. So it's like that. It's not necessarily just that, but just something in your life, your wallet is going to feel like a burden release from it. Like, man, I got an extra $100 every week. I don't have to pay for this or take care of this person. So I'll just say in a nutshell that there's going to be something tangibly that changes. We're no longer responsible for this bill, or it's not as much. It's a lighter load. Maybe we're just making more money, because there's financial burdens, but there's also financial release. And all I know is that it's connected to us. It has something to do with us connecting to a higher consciousness. Like, there's a divine connection residing over our money right now. And even if that's lack thereof, if we need more of it, if we need less of it, whatever it is for all of us, just know that there's a higher power and a higher entity kind of residing over. Like, so if we need to work at a certain place for a couple more weeks, that could be the difference between life and death for some of us, because the universe knows that when we quit that job, we're going somewhere else far away. And then what if we quit that job earlier than you were meant to, and that meant the difference between life and death? So just be patient. Whatever your burdens are right now, they're part of lessons. They're teaching you something. I know that's easier said than done. We're all at a different place financially, but just know, and I'm happy to know as a reader, even for myself collectively tonight, that where the heaviness is, there's a lesson. And where it gets lighter, there's also a lesson. And I just want to say one last thing is that just keep in mind, this could happen any time between now and September, but really there's this pivotal time between full moon and new moon that's important. So the next 2 weeks, and then around, I'll say like April 7th, I think there's a new moon in Aries, I'm pretty sure. Just 2 weeks from now, something is going to shift in our finances. It's good. It's happy. Maybe it's a part of that exciting new beginning. And then we're connected more to the divine. I can't really say it in the way that I'm feeling it, but I know tarot can't tell time. Some of it resonates right now. Some of it might resonate in a year. It really just, I set intentions for what people need to hear the most. But I'm not getting a time frame. I'm getting an energy shift where there's something that happens that makes us feel lighter financially, and then there's this new person that comes in, or there's this new job. It's like a door that opens, and there's something, the only details I'm getting, because it's important that there's other details not revealed, this is what divine is giving us. Like, there's something in the way of our divine connection, and maybe that's why that burden financially is getting ready to get removed. So working at a certain place was lowering your vibration, and you're about to ascend. So little do you know, you thought you were just arguing with a coworker. No, that actual establishment is not in alignment with you. It's not that coworker. Your problems are maybe a little deeper and bigger than what you think. So just trust that. And I just feel as a time frame, it kind of goes both ways. Whatever's in the way of our divine connection, that heavy financial energy is going to shift. It's like, so now you have more money, you're less burdened financially, and you're connected to the higher consciousness too. So that's going to be an interesting one, but it is the only piece of information. So all of us we know where our financial burdens are. We have a higher consciousness understanding. We're actually connected divinely to why that's weighing heavy on us. We know that. I can see that because the card's revealed. But as we shift to the third eye, which is this one here, it's purple energy. It's our intuition, our foresight, and open imagination. Extreme Pisces energy right here. It's like amethyst energy. Pisces is all about that imagination, foresight, and intuition, and we're in that season right now. I don't know the card. It's hidden, so that lets me know, well, for one, there's kind of a dual message here. This is the crystal bowl for intuition and foresight, yet we're pulling a tarot card that is face backwards. So we're not trusting our intuition. Some of us are hiding things. Some of us aren't, or some of us are being hidden, but it has something to do with the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius man. There's a fire sign man here. And then masculine energy, I'm happy to see that we do have masculine energy. We usually have lots of feminine, but this is a king, okay? We're going to call a king. So I don't really get into gender and stuff in tarot because it's energy. So even as we're a lot of feminine energy, I have masculinity about me. We all have masculine. So masculine is when you provide. It's when you fix. It's when you kind of shut off emotionally and try to do. But then the feminine is healing energy. It's okay with receiving. So that's not boy-girl stuff. That's a mixture. But I will call a king. This is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius man. So if you're a woman and you don't identify with this masculine energy, this could be someone showing up for you. Very attractive, a lot of stamina, lots of energy. So there's something here about expression. And even for the feminine women, this is about taking action, having confidence, doing things. But there is a Leo here. There's an Aries or a Sagittarius man, family members, friends, just know fire sign men. There's something you knew that was coming. If you are a fire sign man, or you knew this about a fire sign man. Now, when it comes to imagination, though, the King of Wands is good to pull here. But remember, there was something hidden about this dude. So I don't know if we're hiding things from this individual, or if this individual is hiding things from us. But it doesn't matter because it's intuitive foresight anyway. So we all are hiding things. We all are feeling a little confused. And then I sense for someone out there, this is actually someone we're attracted to. This King of Wands, or he's attracted to us. So this is something that is going to be revealed. This person is kind of hidden and mysterious. So maybe we've got like an attractive man in our life and we're not really sure what's going on there. But when that does reveal, there's going to be actions taken, expression, creativity. Something here that was, it's like someone expresses something to you really arrogantly or confidently, and you kind of knew it. You kind of knew this person was going to do this. You knew they've been doing this. Someone's been doing something. They've been taking actions and it's been hidden. But it's Pisces season and there's a full moon. So it's like, not only do you find out somebody was doing something, but they've been doing it because it's Virgo, right? They've been doing it every day for 6 months. Like, but you already knew they were doing it though. Or you yourself have been doing something for 6 months and you've been hiding it intuitively and someone sees you doing it. I'm not here to say if it's good or bad. It's just the actions of a person. It's like, I knew you were going to do that. I knew intuitively. I seen that coming. But we're going to need confidence with our intuition because with that hidden, to me, it's like we're not trusting our intuition, but it's one of those moments where it's like, I had that thought last week. It's just randomly. I had a thought that someone at work was doing that, and then all of a sudden it's this big thing, and you're like, dang, no one's going to believe me because I didn't speak up, but I literally had a dream about this last week, or just weird stuff like that happening. So, yeah, okay, we'll leave that alone. We might revisit it because there's something going on with this fire sign energy, but we'll move to the throat chakra, which is our ability to speak. It's blue energy, communicating clearly, and this is also, again, all the rest of the cards are hidden from me. So there's something we may be hiding. That's 2 back-to-back messages about, we'll just say deception, because to me, intuition being hidden, that's deception, that's secrets. And now we have the throat chakra, which is the ability to speak. And there's a card that's hidden. So yeah, some of us haven't been saying the things that are on our mind. Wear blue, get lapis lazuli if you really want to speak your truth. Your thoughts get louder when you don't speak the truth, just saying. So yeah, I would say there's definitely some things that are going to be hidden, like information you didn't know that the Virgo full moon is going to deliver to you by March 20th. But we have the Wheel of Fortune with this. And this is literally the spring equinox, the solstices and the equinoxes that we shift into. There's 4. But we're going to shift into spring, March 20th, March 21st. So there's something here about this. This is the planet Jupiter as well, which is expansion and luck. So there's going to be there's a teacher here because it's speaking with Jupiter energy. So someone teaches here, or they're studying, or they're learning. This is also everything changing too. So what you thought over the past few months, come springtime, it's like, okay, like now my truth is different. Like this is expression and expansion. Someone's loud here. This will be someone who hasn't spoke their truth in so long that now they're yelling it. And then when you do that, it's really not received. So I do sense a very loud energy expressing. This is yelling to me. And then the information and conversations we have around March 20th, they're going to change everything. So this ain't no light detail. Like the details we're about to receive is going to change everything. We didn't know that before, right? We might have intuitively knew someone was doing something, or we kind of knew someone desired to. It's like the moves other people are making. It's like, okay, bet. Like now I can do this, or since you're doing that, it's going to affect the actions I'm taking. It sure is. So yeah, I feel just really conversations and truth and information coming in around March 20th, and that information being linked to really things kind of just doing a 180. So this is actually quite positive. I will say though, I think it was in reverse. I'm not sure because I was kind of talking. It was in reverse. I was just talking to you. So that's actually an omen for me. So our luck, we've been feeling kind of down on our luck when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. This is actually time travel backwards. So if it's the spring equinox, I guess that would reverse us back to the winter solstice. So December 21st is coming up. What we've been doing the first few months of this year, some of us haven't been feeling too lucky. Some of us haven't been feeling too optimistic or exciting. It's like, damn, these things are just not changing. Like, no matter what I do, I just can't get this ball rolling in the right direction. But as I was talking to you as your reader, and if it wasn't for Jalen, I wouldn't know for sure. Some of us aren't sure if our luck is good or bad right now. But it doesn't matter because this divine wheel, they call it the wheel of fate or the wheel of the year, it's naturally about to shift. I'm going to put it up right. Sometimes as a tarot reader, I'm able to do that. So even though this was reversed and it's in our throat chakra, it means that there's going to be things that change around. And I will say, try to communicate while everything's changing. I know that's kind of rough, but I mean, it's like someone's home environment completely changing. These two people are going to go live there. This person's going to go live there, but no one's talking to each other about it. So there's all this room for assumption. And so just be careful, even though everything's changing, especially around March 20th, make sure you're talking to the people that are linked to those changes, linked to your fate. There's fated conversations. These two people, these four people, this group of people are meant to come together and talk and give each other details and kind of change that ability to speak. Some of us literally have not felt the ability to speak. And you know what it was is that we were fated to say these things. If we were to say these things before March 20th, it would have shifted things a little too quick. This person would have started acting a certain way. This person would have started doing this too quick. So that brings me back to the divine timing and the connection to the divine. There's something we're going to be able to say and do. There's going to be details after March 20th. So that's a lot there. And I do love that we're going to put the Wheel of Fortune upright and hopefully energetically walk away tonight feeling a little bit more optimistic to speak. Because these may be kind of hard conversations to have, but we're fated to have the thoughts that we have right now, which is linked to the throat chakra weirdly too. Our ability to speak, think, communicate. That energy is going to change and shift in a way more positive way after March 20th. But I won't lie to you, the energy of it prior, if that's the right word to use, like before, hasn't been that great. So we'll shift to the heart now, which is green. That's love and self-love, relationships. There's 3 cards that came out, and they're all like this. So I can see them now, and you guys can't. But it's the Knight of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the 7 of Wands. This is a pretty straightforward message. We'll see how it comes out. Remember, this is just love, self-love, and relationships. I'm going to say straight up, this is one of the ones that like kind of came out, and I kind of seen the Ace of Cups. I didn't really see the other cards though. So we have a Sagittarius that might be significant. And keep in mind, even though someone may not be born November, December, they could have a Sagittarius moon, and you may not even know it. They could have a Sagittarius rising. But I will just say we have a lot of Sagittarius energy here, especially this Knight of Wands. But let's get to the nitty-gritty of this, because regardless if they're a Sagittarius, this person is non-committal, which has been coming up all night with Angel. This person is here for a good time, not a long time. They're here for hookups. They're here for spontaneous fun and adventure. These are the kind of people that come in and text you every other day, and it's like, these are great expectation pullers, because it's like, just because they've been talking to you a couple days and it was so fun to go to the bar the other night and then you don't hear from them from 2 weeks, that's the Knight of Wands. They come and go just as quickly, they come in just as quickly as they go, but they're coming in really quickly to express love. Some of us here tonight may be this Knight of Wands. We may be this non-committal person. We may be this fun, energetic, this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but all of us have that energy. So just for it to all resonate with us tonight, whether you are the one holding the wand or if you're the one with the wand getting charged at, either you're expressing this love or someone's expressing it to you. It might be both, it might be neither. But I will say, with love and the Knight of Wands, this is coming in fast. Like maybe even before you leave here tonight, someone here is just expressing this new love. And I love this because it's the heart chakra. Some of us, our hearts are overflowing, but there's this blocked energy that came out with it for some kind of reason. So some of us, we have not expressed this love. We're actually like quite afraid of it. We're trying to protect ourselves because we've either been with player archetypes or we're trying to rid ourselves of our player ways. I don't know if this person is actually blocked on social media or a phone, but I just see a new beginning of love that is expressed fast. It's going to require your immediate attention. Like, something needs to be done about this ASAP. But there's this blocked energy, this like fighting competition energy. Maybe that's why some of us don't want this in and outer to come in. Some of us have options, and some of them are linked to, like, I don't know, people that are beneath us that kind of want to burst our bubble. So there's new love and there's all these adventures, but there's also this thing that we're required to defend. There's this energy where we have to stick up for ourselves. But I will say, even though it's a cliche, I try to stay away from like love readings unless I absolutely see it. But with the heart chakra and the Ace of Cups, yeah, that's new love. So I will say that. I wouldn't say it if I don't see it. Our hearts are going to start feeling new love. And I don't want to forget that this could be self-love. There's some kind of new feeling. We'll just put it like that. There's some kind of new feeling that we'll feel in our hearts that is linked to defending ourselves or protecting our hearts. And we are right to do that. A lot of us here tonight, we have like a gate, like something protecting our hearts. But it's interesting because there's going to be this fast new love. Someone catches feelings fast here. And I don't know if it's who in the scenario is blocked. But you're going to experience that in some way where there's like these new beginnings and feelings, but you or the other person or someone involved is not so reciprocative. So instead you love yourself. Like, it's going to go kind of different ways for everybody, but the core of it is new feelings, new love, emotional fulfillment. But there's also this like hookup person that comes in and out, fly by the seat of your pants, something's expressed all of a sudden, and it's like, weren't you blocked? Like, I thought I blocked you. I don't know. But we'll see like what happens with that. I think we're gonna slowly thankful for adventure, thanks to adventure and spontaneous energy. Some of us may actually decide to run with this passion for a night or so, or experience these feelings. And what it winds up doing is just like there's this choice to either lower your guard and let this person into your heart, potentially get hurt. Or maybe others of us learn, okay, because of this, I'm going to protect my heart more. And that might be something in the past, but that's an interesting heart chakra energy. New love, we want to feel new things. We also want to have these hookups and spontaneous expression, but there's something blocking our way from feeling this new adventure love. And I think some of us are just like, we've been in hookup bad situations in the past that we're on guard a little bit. So let's move to yellow, also another hidden message. This is self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, and responsibility. With Saturn moving into Pisces last night, this one's going to be an interesting one with responsibility. Oh yeah, I remember this one. 3 of Pentacles and the Judgment. So right away, there's a work phone call. Someone here's going to call you from work. Someone's going to get called in. So that's going to be a significant time frame when you get called in and when you have to talk to someone on the phone about work. One of your coworkers are going to call you. This is the coworker. Okay, this is teamwork, 3 co-workers, 3 people's money, value, everybody coming together. This could be like a Zoom call with 3 people, or there's 3 people on the phone. I just see that. Not necessarily, but I definitely do see that. So there's a job situation from the past that's resurrecting for someone. Something that you've done in the past. An old coworker calls you like, hey, come work over here with us. It's like someone's going to have to make a judgment call about like, okay, so I see a job situation for somebody it's like dead and alive at the same time. So basically you have to decide whether you're going to revive this job from the past or kill it forever. But there's something resurrecting. Maybe this is a team or online energy. So online phone calls. But there's the fate. Is that the right word? Fate, destiny, one of those words. 3 people are involved in this higher purpose. So let's say that there's the purpose of 3 people. 3 people specifically. There's other messages too, but I'm getting for sure 3 people they have a purpose to do this soon. So by March 20th, at the end of March at the very least, it's like you and these 2 other people, or you and these 3 other people, so there's 4 together. You feel really called to do this project or team up. So I'll just say that in general. And what is this even? It's self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, and responsibility. The responsibility of 3 people are coming up here. So just keep that in mind. It might blow your mind when there's 3 people, you and 2 others, or you and 3 others. So yeah, your responsibilities at work. But as a reader, aside from the bull, I do see this as a work phone call or a job from the past. And again, it's like, do you go back to this job from the past, or do you work at this new job? There's just something going on here where 3 people are awakening at the same time. And what that would mean on a higher level is like their purposes are linked. Like everyone in the Three of Pentacles has a job to do. And in this case, it's like a higher calling. So that brings me back to that. So just keep that in mind when it comes to, and then very slight message, it's silly, but there's some judgmental co-workers here. There's something going on with that too, where there's like the people you work with, there might be some judgment, or maybe there's 3 co-workers where, I mean, the judgment card is Pluto, and it's facing your fears, and it's one of the outer planets. So there might be some darkness here. I don't sense that for everyone, but for maybe 1 or 2 of you listening, there's some judgmental energy, or there's 3 people that did something at work and they're about to get judged or something for it, or something going on with that. But just know there's a higher purpose, and it's linked to your self-esteem, pleasure, willpower, and responsibility. But to me, it's the tarot cards for this that are very, very straight up a work phone call, decisions about work. There might even be a forgiveness. You got to forgive one of your coworkers, or forgive a job for doing something to you in the past. Something. But we're going to have huge decisions to make, whether, like, we literally thought this coworker, job, or whatever this was, we thought it was dead and gone, but this full moon is going to resurrect it and show you that there's a little life left in it, and it's like, okay, I could go back and work there. And then there might be $300 that's important here too, but we'll see. 3 people are going to be called to work together, and that doesn't have to be at an establishment. It could be online. There could be 3 people bringing value to a situation, and it's like, in a few years, something huge comes from it. I'm not sure what's going on there. But we are going to move to the sacral, and then we have one more. This is orange energy, creativity, sexual energy. This is my favorite one. We have the 6 of Wands and the Ace of Swords. So, okay, I see new communication and new attention, and this is sexual and creative. Okay, so yeah, this is like that sexting vibe a little bit, but there's new truth. Someone here is about to speak some truth. This could be a clear decision that someone makes. This could be you speaking the truth, but get creative with it. There's also the truth about some kind of sexual attention coming out here. Admiration, there's celebrations, victory. This is 2 cards of victory, actually. So there's something here as far as creativity and sexuality where we could be triumphant. But it starts with the truth, though. Like, we're going to have to, like, be precise and really make a clear decision. Someone here, it's like seeking other people's approval. And it's like, as soon as you stop doing that, you're able to paint and create and be viewed as a more intellectual individual. After you stop seeking the approval of someone else, you start, there's attention. I just see sexual attention, honestly. There's recognition here. It's almost like there's any celebration. So we got St. Patrick's Day. People maybe having birthdays. So someone's giving a speech here. This is just for a couple of people. Anytime someone's giving a speech in front of people, and then there's like this sexual energy. The person who's talking, you have sexual tension with. Okay, or you're talking, and there's someone who has sexual tension with you. Like, they look at you in a, let's just say, a creative way. Or they might be at work. I think this might be at work. Like, you're just talking logically, but someone's like, they're lit. Like, somebody, yeah, I don't know.
That's a good one.
I don't know. So just know, one of your listeners is
listening.
Listening for sure.
They're listening real good.
They're watching.
Yeah, that's
you.
interesting. I don't know. It's going to be linked to like new communication, someone new that's getting attention, which could be you or referring to the person or people that you're dealing with. I see someone here who texts at least 6 different people, but there's a new one, and we have a lot of aces too, so there's new beginnings. So tell yourself the truth about sexual energy. Don't lie to yourself about that. And then that just literally reminded me, this last bowl, it is hidden, but I seen it right at the end. So we'll shift to the last one, and it's like save the best for last kind of energy. I'll try to make it quick. This is safety, root chakra, red energy. It's our security. It's our ability to feel stable. It's our foundation. It doesn't matter, though, because the card that came out with it is the 7 of Swords, which is literally deception. Cheating, lying, stealing energy, someone who's suspicious, sneaking around, not wanting to be seen or transparent. They're doing it right in broad daylight, though. They feel safe enough to do this. Someone feels secure enough to do this. But I'll just say it straight up, like, some of our foundations have been built on lies. Our homes, our families, that's what a foundation is. Everything needs that, right? You can't build a house on sand, it'll sink. But yeah, like, there's some lying energy going on here, and it's in our root. That's super important. That's our feet, right? Like, that's literally, we're rooted in deception. We're rooted in security. Some of us have felt safe enough and secure enough to lie about these foundations. There's someone that's taking something too. So for me, the tarot message is disgusting, but it makes me feel like that'll at least give us the ability to, I mean, the truth is right next to it. So there's going to be some attention and truth. I don't know if there's some truth that comes out about attention and sexual attention, that truth comes out, but there's a lie too. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I wouldn't say that. We just have certain cards that represent stuff. So this could also be us lying to ourselves, but if we feel the lack of safety or security or stability change, if our foundation starts shifting, it's because it was a lie. Like, perfection is kind of a lie. Virgo energy, like I said, on the surface, it looks okay, but deep down, like, they struggle with addiction, whatever it might be. So we'll leave that at what it is. I feel more so that we know what this is, and we just don't want it to be exposed, like our own lies or what we're lying to ourselves. But for some people, yes, this could be someone in your life that has cheated or lied or stole. I just hate that we're rooted in it, and that, to me, that's ultimate destruction. Like, if something's built, like, if, you know, the 4th or 5th floor is a lie, we can kind of destroy that. But if the foundation's a lie, the whole building has to go down. So if we have to leave a job or a home environment, it's because the whole thing was deceptive. And it sucks because someone just got a promotion, but it's like this. I work for a liar, though. I work for someone who steals and embezzles. Or I'm doing the stealing and embezzlement, but it's so weird because someone's about to get judgment. Like, you might find out a coworker that's been working there, someone who owns this business has been lying for years. So just try to flow with this, you guys, okay? Really, details are getting revealed, and it's like we kind of lost the ability to, like, lie to ourselves about them. So we'll have to, like, regroup around March 20th and see how we're all still standing. But if there's things that shift, that's why, because they're less than the truth, which is deception. So does anyone have any questions about that? I think it's a lot. This is a really weird energy. I don't think we have any major arcana. Actually, we do, Jupiter and Pluto. But yeah, did anything stick out to anybody? I did record it, so I'm gonna hit stop.